Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. It's Wacky and Weird Wednesday. Yes, it's the episode we do every week on Wednesday. Cover all the wacky, weird stuff, the oddities that are happening in the headlines, stuff you may have heard of already, and stuff that you didn't even know was going on all over the world.
All of it.
All of it.
All of it.
Week, anyways. the newest wacky and weird stuff this week. This is Before Coffee, the father and daughter comprehensive news of Planet Earth podcast, where we look up our stories 10 to 15 minutes before it started, just got some caffeine in our body, and we're learning how to read these stories live for you. Let's get into our wacky headlines for today's show. Today on Wacky and Weird Wednesday, Florida cat named Pepper brings home never before seen virus for the second time. And conspiracy theorists are claiming labubu dolls are haunted and can possess people.
And other weird news and wacky news, German customs official find a smuggler smuggling tarantulas. And other smuggling news, a prisoner escapes in his cellmate's laundry bag.
Fatbergs.
That's
Why
okay.
you should not pour milk down the sink. And Thai police arrest women who allegedly seduced and blackmailed Buddhist monks.
And the biggest piece of Mars on Earth is going up for auction in New York, while Indian police have discovered a Russian woman hiding out in a cave with her 2 children.
Not very funny. Teddy bear artworks made from fake human skin leads to arrest in California in our culture news.
A punny headline. And it's National AI Day. That stands for Artificial Intelligence. And if we have any intelligence at all in this show, it's not artificial. It's July 16th, 2025 on Before Coffee. I don't think we need
If we have any intelligence. We're hoping we have some intelligence today. Trying.
Our small neutrino-sized intelligence here is purely human, man-made, women-made.
I see you're making a reference to yesterday's neutrino, the invention of neutrinos there.
Discovery, our invention, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever. We've measured something smaller than a neutron and called it a neutrino because that's clever.
Our subatomic particle.
There's some of that human intelligence we're looking for.
That's right. We have a quantity of intelligence here. And just remember that 0 is a quantity. Thank you. Anyway, your story.
The absence of intelligence still counts. Let's roll our segue for our first 2 stories here for Wacky and Weird Wednesday. And it is...
If 0 is a quantity, I have a quantity of yachts.
You have to tell me a joke about cats finding viruses and cursed labubu dolls, so...
A joke? Oh my god. Alright.
Get your laugh track out. Our first story is coming off of Gizmodo by Natalia Mesa. Last year, Pepper, a pet cat, not just a normal cat, but a pet cat, who roams the backyards in Gainesville, Florida, helped the scientists discover a new viral strain. Now, the furry feline is back at it again. In a new study, scientists have once again discovered an exotic virus infecting a dead rodent that had been caught by Pepper. This time around, Pepper's furry hunting trophy helped researchers pinpoint an unidentified strain of ornithorovirus, a type of virus that infects humans and other mammals. The findings and the virus, a genome, are probably in the They're published. This is what I'm saying. We can't read. The findings of the virus's complete genome are published in the journal Microbiology Letters. So if you want to actually read the whole study, check out Microbiology Letters and Pepper the Cat's Virus Discovery. John Lednicki, Pepper's owner and the lead author of the study, is a microbiologist at the University of Florida and hunts viruses much like Pepper hunts rodents. It was Lednicki who brought Pepper's fresh catch into the lab for testing. His analysis revealed that the rodent, an Everglades short-tailed shrew, carried a previously unidentified strain of ornithorovirus. These types of viruses can infect humans and other mammals. but scientists still don't know much about how their effects on humans show out. There have been a few cases of encephalitis, meningitis, gastroenteritis linked to the virus in children. However, the new viral strain is officially known as Gainesville true mammalian orthorovirus type 3 strain UFI. Wow, that was way easier to say than everything I've...
Right.
Why couldn't they just made it a funny name? Pepper's virus. I don't know. Orthorovirus mutate quickly.
Virus B.
Yeah,
Like
virus
B12.
P. Much like the influenza virus, 2 different types of the virus can infect a single host cell. This means that 2 viral strains blend their genomes within the cell, essentially creating a new virus. They have a virus babies inside of you, and then, I don't have a antidote for that. Not an antidote. Why can't I think of the word? Vaccine. There you go. Vaccine for that. Bottom line is we need to pay attention to the orthoroviruses and know how to rapidly detect them, Lednicki said in a statement. Pepper's last contribution to science was in May 2021 when he brought home the common cottonmouth, carrying a type of Gelong virus never before seen in the U.S. Unlike orthoroviruses, Gelong virus infects reptiles, fish, and birds in addition to mammals.
Wow.
It can also occasionally cause serious illness in humans. That study was published last year. Since then, Lednicki has been hard at work identifying other novel viruses. He adds that it's not all too surprising to find a new viral strain, since viruses mutate quickly, and rodents are getting everywhere, right? So they're putting their nose where it shouldn't go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the first one to say this, but essentially, if you look, you'll find that that's why we keep finding all these new viruses, Lednicki said. Next, the researchers plan to continue studying the viruses, exotic viruses, to understand if it poses a threat to humans and pets. But the virus posed no threat to Pepper, at least, who has shown no signs of illness and is out conducting field work once again. This was an opportunistic study, Lednicki said in a statement. If you come across a dead animal, why not test it instead of just burying it? There's a lot of information that could be. So, good job, Pepper, the virus cat, for helping, I guess, just in case there's a bioweapon somebody wants to make on these viruses. We'll already have vaccines for it. Give me a joke.
Yes, and of course, Pepper, of course, is doing well because she's only used up 2 of her 9 lives, right, on these viruses, so I guess there's more to go. That's why she's not dying. Obvious.
Yeah, that's obviously what's happening here.
Not. Obviously, she still has 7 lives left, so there's your job.
7 more viruses to discover. How exciting.
Right. Oh, no, Pepper died this time. Ran out of lives.
That was the 9th one, sadly. Oh, well, she'll probably live a long time. They didn't really say how old she is, but cats can live like for 12 years, so.
Yeah, they're adaptable as hell.
They're pretty adaptable. Our next story, which is a shorter one, is about the labubu dolls. We talked about this, last month. In case anybody doesn't know what they are, they're just the new trend. Beanie Babies, labubu dolls, freaking those animal bracelets. There's always a trend people are getting into, and a lot of times celebrities start getting into them, and then more people get into it because they're like, oh my god, my favorite K-pop idol has one. I have to get one too, the exact same one. Anyways,
then they make a movie about
the conspiracy nuts.
Doll.
The conspiracy nuts have discovered the dolls, and of course, they're making all their theories about demon possession and being haunted. This is on Pink News by Amelia Hansford. The ongoing labubu dolls craze has officially reached fever pitch. People have claimed the toys are based on an ancient Mesopotamian demon, are haunted, and can possess you. Oh no, you better start burning him now! The collectible designer plush toy have completely taken the world by storm over the past few months, causing the monster figurines to explode in price. Designed by Hong Kong Belgian artist Casing Lung, figurines often come in blind boxes, a form of packaging with contents hidden. Till opened, They're doing loot boxes. Oh, I wonder what's in this one. Gambling. We're gambling with dolls. Rare versions of the toy have sold anywhere from $149 to $170,000. Okay, sure they have. I believe you. That sounds like fake news.
Yeah, people just throwing their money away.
I
This is
totally
gonna
sold
stay
this
valuable
labubu doll for
forever.
$170K. Sure you did, dude. You're just trying to raise the market by lying about prices.
Yeah, exactly. Ask anybody who bought a freaking Beanie Baby in the 1990s for $1,000, and then the internet started, and it found out they're only worth $1. Okay.
Yep. Nobody's been selling these dolls for that much, and I need to see a receipt because
you got suckers.
this is just
exactly.
this is plain. What do you call it? Stock market manipulation in a way, right? Labubu pricing and manipulation by saying I sold one the other day for this much, and then somebody goes, "Oh, they're worth that much? Well then, I'll buy it for $100K." That's a little low, but whatever. Anyways. As with any mass frenzy over consumer
can
items,
have the doll.
Conspiracy theories over the toys have proliferated online. Users now claim the toy resembles the Mesopotamian demon god, Pazuzu, a primarily evil deity in Babylonian and Assyrian mythology, associated with the destructive winds. Pazuzu was also the entity filmed in the classic 1970s horror movie, The Exorcist. No! Well, that's just... And they're just not very clever, are they? According to fact-checking website Snoops, which posts on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, are all claiming the design of the Labubu toy is based on an image of the demon god, and those who buy them are inviting evil into their homes. But the guy was Belgian. I guess just because you're from Belgium and Hong Kong doesn't mean you can't get inspired by Mesopotamia. On one post, which basically claims the toys are Pazuzu-inspired demons, uses in an episode of The Simpsons Treehouse of... Oh, yeah, because, The Simpsons is a documentary
the
film.
Monkey Paw, or which one? Yeah, documentary, The Simpsons, yeah, definitely.
Treehouse of Horror.
Which one, the Monkey Paw?
28.
Oh, yeah.
As proof.
Oh.
This is in quotations. The episode sees Homer bring home a Pazuzu statue containing the demon, who then possesses Maggie Simpson. Though the online post falsely claims the demon possesses Homer in the episode. They can't even get the conspiracies right. Like this documentary.
Real science at work.
It's called The Simpsons. This documentary, in which I'm going to really quote wrong.
I believe they're actually applying the scientific method properly here, right? Use a cartoon on television to prove your theory. Okay, that's a scientific method at work. Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
No, it's all good. Long, you're already telling jokes since I'm not even in the segue yet. Long, who was raised in the Netherlands, so he's Belgian, but he was raised in the Netherlands, as previously said, Labubu toys are based on Nordic fairy tales he enjoyed as a child. There's no evidence that, So the maker of the toys has already said, it's like, oh, he's lying. It's all part of his conspiracy. No, I don't think so. There's no evidence that the designs are based on Pazuzu or any Mesopotamian mythological lore. In fact, Pink News is willing to go on the record and confirm that your Labubu doll will not possess you. You can sue them later. You can have a defamation case against them later when you get possessed, okay? Based on a storybook Lung wrote in 2015, The Monsters, the characters were turned into toys and sold exclusively in Pop Mart, a Chinese-based retailer. Toys rose in popularity around 19, eventually skyrocketing to beloved collector's items after various celebrities and influencers, including Rihanna, Dua Lipa, David Beckham, shared pictures at their personal collection. Described by Pop Mart World as mischievous and kind-hearted Nordic monster, Lung has said he came up with the design to honor the stories he loved as much as when I was a kid. So, they're not possessed, there's no ghost, and they're not haunted. So you can freely consumer your way through. If you need these Labubu dolls to feel good about yourself, go for it. I'm not materialistic, so I will not be buying $20,000 dolls myself.
Just thought, wow, that's a really ugly doll. I don't even want it. Anyway, they're missing out on a golden marketing opportunity. They want to capitalize on this evil doll and jack up the price and say that it grants wishes. What are they doing? Right? And it's like, hey, and then call it the monkey paw type thing. Like, yeah, you get wishes, but be careful. Be careful.
Those wishes are not going to be what you
Be
want.
careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we're going to warn you, though. Don't bring this doll back and complain, because we're going to sell it to you for $1 million, but don't come back. It grants all your wishes and you don't get what you want. Anyway, that's what they should be doing. That's not a joke. It's kind of a joke. I already made my joke anyway. It was about the people spending a lot of money to buy something that's virtually, it's a chunk of plastic and stuff. And nothing there. It's just nothing, really.
I don't even know if they're actual luxury-made dolls. They're just saying that. You know, I can say, oh, the sandwich. The sandwich is a luxury-made sandwich. And then people buy it, you know? Look at it. It's folded on itself. One piece of bread. How luxurious.
Look at that. An air sandwich. So luxurious. I could see if they were made with genuine air from murder victims or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. But yeah.
The air.
That would be something to curse it. Yeah.
Alan here says, to her, they just look like rabid colorful monchichi to her, which are just like rabbits. Monchichi. I mean, they are rabbits, so they have little rabbit ears. So.
Yeah.
Nordic, I mean, I think for me, it reminds me of that, All the Places You'll Go. No, that was Dr. Seuss. There was a storybook about similar looking fuzzy monsters. Somebody made a movie about it, like, 2000s. Made a live action. And that's what it reminds me of. Like the monster book. But maybe that's the same, maybe that's Chucky. The same book. It's really weird that he just says the Nordic stories he grew up reading. I'm like, can you give us like a name drop or something? This book, this title, nothing.
I would get it though for like a child of one of these religious zealots who would freak out over it and like, hold an exorcism in their house. Like just go look at their house the next day and see if there's any crosses everywhere or whatever. Anyway.
Let's roll our next segue for your story.
One thing to do.
Yes, where the wild things are. Thank you, Amlin. Where the wild things are. That's what it reminds me of. Those little creatures from Where the Wild Things Are. They're all fuzzy with like flesh face. Okay, you have to remind me. You have to remind me of a song with your next story. Get to it.
Remind you of a song. I was gonna say before the doll turns on you, it might kill all your enemies. Think of it that way. But it'll eventually turn on you. Because that's in all the movies. So we're going to talk about, I guess we're going to talk about the biggest piece of Mars on Earth is going up for auction in New York. Dave Collins and Joseph B. Frederick of Associated Press had the story from KSL.com is the website, even though it's an Associated Press story. It's a couple days old. A 54-pound rock, estimated auction price $2 million to $4 million. Why so expensive? It's the largest piece of Mars ever found on Earth. Sotheby's in New York will be auctioning off what's known as NWA, not the rap group. NWA.
What the hell? That's enough. And I'm auctioning off this Mars rock?
Yeah, Ice Cube is being auctioned off. So it's a slave auction, everybody. On Wednesday, July 16th, that's part of the national. Well, NWA, that's enough. Why would you do NWA, right? Anyway, as part of the natural history theme sale that also includes a juvenile Ceratosaurus dinosaur skeleton. Wow, that's pretty cool. That's more than 6 feet tall and nearly 11 feet long. Well, that's a cool thing to buy too.
Where do you put it? I don't know, Mars, but you can put it somewhere.
If you got a Mars rocket, according to the auction house, the meteorite is believed to have been blown off the surface of Mars by a massive asteroid strike before traveling 140 million miles to Earth, where it crashed into the Sahara. A meteorite hunter found it in Niger in November of 23, Sotheby says. The red, brown, and gray hunk is about 70% larger than the next largest piece of Mars found on Earth. It represents nearly 7% of all Martian material currently on this planet. Well, they've identified it as Martian material. Martians always leaving their crap in our yards. Anyway, it measures nearly 15 inches by 11 inches by 6 inches. It's not its perfect sphere of any short. This Martian meteorite is the largest piece of Mars we have ever found by a long shot. Cassandra Hatton, the Vice President of Science and Natural History at South Beach, said in an interview. So it's more than double the size of what we previously thought was the largest piece of Mars. It's also a rare find. There are only 400 Martian meteorites out of the more than 77,000 officially recognized meteorites found on Earth, South Beach says. Hatton said the small piece of the red planet remnant was removed and sent to a specialized lab that confirmed it is from Mars. It was compared to a distinct chemical composition of Martian meteorites discovered during the Viking space probe that landed in 1976. She said, that's right, they use a spectrometer and say, hey, here's what the rocks on Mars consist of. Let's look for the exact signature in another rock and we'll say it's from Mars. But there's actually no proof it actually came from Mars. It's just, the best educated guess, right? They can't just go, hey, we tracked this thing. It's got a little barcode on it. We know where it came from. They don't know it for sure, but they know it has the consistency of Mars rocks compared to other, like, let's say,
imagine if you did that, though. You cracked it open and it just says
rock.
Property of Mars on the inside.
Well,
that would go make it increase in price.
Yeah, please return for deposit. And, oh, Christ, what's the deposit going to be? It's at $7. It ain't worth it. The examination found that it is a olivine micrograbic microgabbroic ergotite, a type of Martian rock formed by the slow cooling of Martian magma. It is a coarse grain texture and contains the minerals pyroxene and olivine. Sotheby says olivine must be green, right? It is also a glassy surface, likely due to the high heat that burned it when it fell to Earth's atmosphere. Obviously, Hatton says that was the first clue that it wasn't just some big rock on the ground, she said. The meteorite previously was on exhibit at Italian Space Agency in Rome. South Beach did not disclose the owner. It is not clear exactly when the meteorite hit Earth. The testing shows it probably happened in recent years, South Beach says. The juvenile Ceratosaurus Nasicornis skeleton was found in 1996 near Laramie, Wyoming, at Bone Cabin Quarry, a gold mine for dinosaur bones. It's not a literal gold mine. It's just figure of speech. Specialists assembled nearly 140 fossil bones with some sculpted materials to create the skeleton and mounted it so it's ready to exhibit, South Beach said. The skeleton is believed from the late Jurassic period, about 150 million years ago, South Beach says. Its auction is estimated at $4 million to $6 million. There you go. You can own a dinosaur. Only $4 million. Take your money you were going to spend on dolls and spend it on dinosaurs instead. Ceratosaurus dinosaurs were bipeds with short arms that appear similar to the Tyrannosaurus Rex, but smaller. Maybe it's a baby. Ceratosaurus dinosaurs could grow up to 25 feet, while the Tyrannosaurus Rex could be 40 feet. Of course, like I just said, it could be just be an immature one. I'm just not a dinosaur expert, but I'm sure they may have thought of that possibility. The skeleton was acquired last year by Fossilogic, a Utah-based fossil preparation mounting company. Wednesday's auction is part of Sotheby's Geek Week 2025 and features 122 items, including other meteorites, fossils, and gem-quality materials. So it's a kind of a geological auction. And there's your story. What song that remind you of?
Well, because we were talking about this before, right? Kryptonite.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's just a stone. It's a mysterious stone from space, perhaps. So, Doors Down's Kryptonite. If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman?
Wow, it looks like the winning bidder, we just got the results, was a Lex Luthor. Wow, weird is that? Anyway.
Suspicious.
All right.
New breaking news. Lex Luthor buys Mars rock. Quote unquote Mars rock.
Fucking super villains kit. Sure. Damn Superman, why don't you just raise enough money to get that? You could always keep it in a box somewhere.
He's just a farmer boy. He can't buy no rock for way too much money.
Well, he could always just throw a car at the auction and disrupt it.
Superman would never do that.
Yeah, he would. Because kryptonite's going to make him basically human. Or worse. All right, next story. Indian police find Russian woman and her 2 daughters living in a cave in the forest. This is AP News, a short story. Police in India, southern Karnataka state said Wednesday they found a Russian woman and her two young daughters living isolated in a remote forest cave. The woman, identified as Nina Kutina, 40, and her daughters, aged 6 and 4, were found by police during a routine patrol to Ramatirtha Hill, a popular tourist site in the coast of Karnataka, on July 9th. Police officers, why did they give the officers names for these things? Sridhar SR said the family had been living in the cave for more than a week. Police said they were taking steps to repatriate Kutina to Russia for overstaying her visa. She and her children have been moved to a nearby detention facility for foreigners living illegally in India. Police said in a statement that Kutina spent her time in the cave meditating by candlelight, and that she told investigating officers she was interested in staying in the forest and worshiping God. Yeah, so leave her alone.
I mean, I can't disagree with that.
You just can't live in a cave. Yeah, I mean, but of course people are just going to be like this. They're going to be like, you're taking up space that somebody else could have been taking up, like a bear or something. I don't know. Whatever. People got to live somewhere. She's living in a cave. She didn't want to go back to Russia. I can't say I blame her. Russia's president is destroying their economy. Sridhar said Kutina told police that she worked for a tutor of Russian language in Goa, a coastal tourist state in southern India. It's nothing but her love for adventure that brought her here, said Sridhar. He said police found pictures of Hindi deities in the inside walls of the cave where Kutina had been living. In a photograph provided by the police, she is seen in front of makeshift curtains and made of red stairs that covered the entrance to the cave. The Russian embassy in New Delhi didn't immediately respond to a request for a comment. The police said Kutina sent a message to her friends after she was found. Our peaceful life in the cave has ended. Our cave home destroyed, she wrote in the message, according to the statement. The Associated Press contacted Kutina over the phone, but she declined to comment. On Tuesday, she told news agency Press Trust of India that she spent her days in the cave by painting, singing, reading books, and living peacefully with her children. I'm guessing they ate what they had on hand. That doesn't say how they survived. Maybe there's lots of food
like a bad
there,
time, I guess. I mean, they didn't say the children were malnourished, right? So
I'm saying, if there's trees, there's rabbits, there's probably squirrels, there's probably all kinds of wildlife. Eat berries, who knows? It's summertime, so it's probably stuff growing. But winter I don't know what the winter's like there, but if it's in the mountains, it probably gets pretty chilly. But hey, there's your story. It's weird enough. Maybe one of her children is going to grow up to be a famous person someday, and we saved their lives. You look at it that way. You never know.
He's going to cure cave cancer after all living in that cave for so long.
Yeah, and I think the first thing they probably ask for is a decent meal, right?
Oh, that's so annoying.
Right? It's like, yeah, because they're starving. I'm tired eating berries or whatever. Anyway, there's your story. I'll remind you of a song.
Yes.
No kryptonite.
Down in a hole.
Down in a hole. Wow.
Losing my... maybe not losing my soul. It sounds like they gained their soul, actually, down in that hole. My wings are bent, so I die. There we go. By Alice in Chains, Down in a Hole. You're welcome. There's your song.
Deny. Not I died, but whatever. Okay, that's my story. Spin the wheel.
My next stories are going to be about, well, something I don't want to see, but I'm going to report on it anyway. I think that was, what was that? Segway? Tell me in the chat. So tell me in chat. There we go. Associate this with something, whether it be a personal story or reminds you of something else. And we're talking about fatbergs, which I think we've actually talked about these before. I don't remember when, but I swear I've heard this word before when we're talking about sewage. And unfortunately, Australia and Sydney itself has a huge fatberg problem. By Sam Smith on stuff. And there's plenty of stuff in these pipes. Sydney has a 12 million milk disposal problem. Figures reported by the Sydney Morning Herald show Sydney Water has spent 11.7 million Australian dollars, or 12.8 million American dollars, to manage more than 11,000 clogs in its network in the past year, caused by the buildup of fats. So this isn't, this is like proper sewage system, not just a sewage tank that you deposit into. Goes to a facility and everything, but it keeps getting clogged. As a result, Sydney Water is asking people, do not pour milk down the sink. In New Zealand, Water Care says pouring fat and oil down the drain can lead to fatbergs and other overflows. In 2022, Water New Zealand estimated that people flushing what they shouldn't cost New Zealand at least 16 million Australian dollars a year to unblock the pipes. But why is milk a problem exactly? What are fatbergs? Let's take a look, but please don't take a look. Not look up what this looks like. It's not a nice picture, okay? Just imagine milk, and that's all you need. That's all you need. Fatberg is a large congealed mass of solid waste found in the sewer system, primarily composed of fat, oils, and grease, and non-biodegradable items like wet wipes. They can cause blockages, sewage overflows, and other environmental damage. Wow, why is there sewage in my drinking water? Probably because the sewers are clogged. According to Water Care, oil is the glue of a fatberg. With this, grease and other oils poured down your sink end up sliding through your pipes and meeting up with other greasy and single-use plastic items that have been pushed down the toilet. Over time, these items then build up, creating a fatberg in the process. But why specifically why specifically milk? Well, fat in milk is a problem, as it can combine with other materials to form these fatbergs. Ben Hodgson Armstrong of Sydney Water told the Sydney Morning Herald that fats and dairy products, such as milk, solidify and can end up sticking to the walls of the pipes. What happens is, the fats and the oils and grease that actually in those products solidify. Things like butter. Also, was another one that we wouldn't recommend putting down the drain. Who's putting down butter down the drain? What are they doing? Melted ice cream. Anything that you think has cream and fat, we'd say just don't put it down there, he said. But the problem is, where do you put it then? Right? That's my issue. You can't flush it down the toilet either. That's the same drain. So...
Dump it in the grass.
Yeah, I guess just put it outside.
Anyway, I got solutions. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll see your solution in the segue.
You will.
Water
Believe me.
Care says fatbergs lead to blockages in the pipes, which can have environmental consequences. Overflows occur when sewer pipes are blocked, causing untreated wastewater to contaminate beaches and waterways. Okay then, so what should I do with this milk instead? They do have a here, but maybe it's the same as yours. Lucky, there are other ways of disposing of your milk without pouring it down the sink. Popping it in the rubbish is the easiest way to get rid of it, even though that will smell really bad, I guess.
Whoa.
Without pouring it down the drain, just make sure you leave it in its container and don't put it in recycling. But what if you do want to recycle it? Oh no. Milk can also be used on plants in the garden, as it contains calcium.
Yeah.
Milk can be suitable for plants as a form of fertilizers. They love milk. No, everyone always talks about cats loving milk, but never your petunias.
Right.
If you're going to use milk on your plants, do so only in moderation, as too much milk can be harmful to plants. Make sure to dilute it with some water as well. Are there rules around what can be poured down a drain? Yes, as it turns out. In 22, New Zealand and Australia became the first countries in the world to set standards around what can be flushed. Manufacturers have to label items that can be flushed, and it is an offense under the Fair Trade Act for a manufacturer to label a project as flushable if it does not meet the standard. According to Water New Zealand, to be flushable, a product must be suitable for disposal through wastewater networks and treatment systems. It must not adversely impact those systems or remain recognizable in effluent after the wastewater treatment process. Basically, they're saying when they treat the water, you shouldn't be able to tell, hey, there's milk in there. It looks like somebody put some milk down there. Products that contain plastic, don't disintegrate, or cannot pass easily through pipework or pumps should never be flushed. Stick to flushing only the 3 Ps. Pee, poo, and toilet paper is Water Care's advice. Everything else, including tampons, pads, cotton buds, and wet wipes, should be put in the bin, while substances such as cooking oils and fats should not be poured down the sink. Yeah, store that fat. that you can use it later, because a lot of that rendered fat can be just, instead of buying olive oil, you can just use the the fat you made from making bacon or whatever. You can just put that in a jar. I know a lot of poor people do.
Homemade butter.
In a jar somewhere.
Homemade butter,
Mama,
man.
what is this? This is all the bacon fat over 20 years.
Yeah, if you got a blender and you got some fat, you got yourself some butter. That's all.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's it. That's my story.
Okay, so I'll associate with this my growing up on a farm, a dairy farm, where we had spoiled milk all the time. Yeah, all the time. Until electricity went out. We didn't have a generator, and if the electricity was out for more than 6 hours, the milk was going to spoil. So my dad, and of course fat, rises to the top, floats to the top, and the water and the sugar stays lower, and you just skim the fat off the top, and you can make cottage cheese, butter, whatever. And the rest of it, we just use for fertilizer, right? Just dump it on the frickin' yard or the grass or whatever. It doesn't have to be water for plants. Or we didn't have a sewer that was going to get clogged up or anything, but we would never think of putting it in a frickin' kitchen sink drain. Even the stuff we would just take it outside and dump it on the yard. Some people ain't got that choice, but that's my association with it. Lactic acid. Of course, bacteria in milk is only looking to eat the lactose. It's looking to eat the sugar. Most bacteria, right? That's what spoils first. Is like in our house, we buy lactose-free milk. It lasts a month longer than regular milk that you buy in the jug, right? Because there's no lactose in it. That's what the bacteria is looking for, lactose. So that fat that's in there, if it goes bad, you can just make it into cheese. Not really that hard. Anyway, sorry.
No, you're completely right. I mean, you know a lot about the topic, because obviously I didn't grow up on a dairy farm, so I don't know anything about milk disposal.
I mean, if it's bad for a month or something, it might be too late. But if it's just you're dumping it down the drain, it's definitely not a solution. How dumb do you got to be to think that's not going to clog your pipes? Would you take a big bunch of fat and just like greasy fat and just pour it down your drain? You'd be thinking that's going to solidify, harden and clog my pipes. I think you'd be right. I don't know. People learn something. Learn something about life.
People just see drains as a place to get rid of stuff. That's true. It's no problem off my back. It's gone now.
Take a biology class, okay? Somebody just learn something in life. Don't just sit there and go passively through life, just thinking somebody else is going to take care of this. All right. I guess your next story.
Okay. My next story is about Thai woman who's blackmailed Buddhist monks. Are you a horny Buddhist monk? Well, stay away from this woman. She's gonna get ya. Gonna blackmail ya. This is from Jintama Sakaronachai on AP News. Coming out of Bangkok, of course. Police in Thailand arrested a woman on yesterday, the 15th of July, who allegedly enticed a string of Buddhist monks into sexual relationships and then pressured them into making large payments to cover up their intimacy. Okay.
Oh, wow.
They're not victims at all, right?
Too hard.
I'm sorry. Let me be a little man hater real quick, right? So the men are victims completely of their own urges, and they didn't make any decisions at all with this woman, right?
Yeah, right. It's all her fault.
Oh, poor men! They get hope that they're horny! She needs to be arrested for making them horny. It's her fault. Anyways, look, read the whole story before I start bombasting Buddhist monks.
Man.
And I get the blackmail part, but the whole kind of wow, she's just too hot that I'm going to break my vows things. That's on them. That's all I'm saying. What could she have possibly been doing to, The possible violation of the celibacy rule for monks has rocked Buddhist institutions and gripped public attention in Thailand in recent weeks. At least 9 abbots and senior monks involved in the scandal have been disrobed and cast out of the monkhood, as they should be, because they're supposed to be able to resist temptation. And if they can't do it, they failed. The end. The Royal Thai Police Central Investigation Bureau said, "I'm okay with her being arrested because she's black. I'm okay with that. I think she'd be arrested for that. But let's not pretend she's being arrested because she was too sexy, okay? That's not the reason she's being arrested."
Blackmail.
The blackmail, yeah. Willawan
it's
Msawat, in her
extortion.
mid-30s, was arrested at her home in Nonthaburi province, north of the capital of Bangkok, on charges including extortion, money laundering, and receiving stolen goods. Which is fair. That's what she was doing. She was doing all those things. Police said that they traced money transferred to her by a senior monk from a bank account belonging to his temple in northern Thailand. Willawan has not made a statement since her arrest, and it is unclear if she has legal representation. Speaking to local media before her arrest, she acknowledged one relationship and said she had given money to that monk. Ooh, so it's reverse blackmail. Scandals involving monks surface a few times a year in Thailand, but usually don't involve senior members of the clergy. The case also puts a spotlight on the large sums of money donated to temples controlled by abbots, which is marked contrast to the abstemious lives they're supposed to live with their religion's precepts. Yes, the famous thing about religions, when you're like, oh, I'm going to donate this to the church so that they can feed the hungry, and then you find out, oh, did you know the leader of the church owns a multi-million-dollar house? That's suspicious. He has 3 yachts? That's weird. Why does a priest need yachts? Why does an abbot need to be paying blackmail to a sexy woman? That's weird. Why does he have enough money? How is he able to afford to do that?
It's almost like religions are devious, huh? Imagine that.
All practice religion. So, anyways, Willawan deliberately targeted senior monks for financial gain, police said. Noted they found several monks had transferred large amounts of money after Willawan initiated romantic relationships with them. I want to see this woman. She must be super hot. Willawan's bank account received around 385 million baht. Here we go, in US dollars. $11.9 million from the Buddhist monks. That's how much money they have. So much for living abstemious lives. How many monks were there? In the past 3 years, most of the funds were spent on online gambling websites. Oh, great. So not only is she blackmailing monks, she doesn't know how to use her money properly. It's just trying to make more money. She already had the scam. Why did she need to get scammed herself?
Jeez, wow, she had expenses. She has expenses, man. Expenses, right?
Jarun Kiat Conquay, a Central Investigation Bureau deputy commissioner, said the investigation began last month after an abbot of a famous temple in Bangkok abruptly left the monkhood. Investigators found the abbot had allegedly been blackmailed by Willawan over the romantic relationship. He told the monk that she was pregnant and asked him to pay 7.2 million baht, which would be $222,000 in financial assistance. You know what? That's probably pretty cheap for taking care of a baby. If it was real. If the baby was real.
Yeah. Or it's not baby.
Jarun Kiat said at a news conference in Bangkok yesterday on the 15th of July. Police believe the woman is dangerous and we need to arrest her as soon as possible. She's dangerous!
As soon as possible.
She's taking people's money. She's a danger to society.
Hey, big
boy. There's nothing dangerous
about this. Want to get to heaven in 5 minutes?
If she was funneling the money into like a drug cartel or buying weapons, then I could believe that she's dangerous. She's so sexy, she's dangerous. Time Media reported a search of her mobile phones revealed tens of thousands of photos and videos, as well as numerous chat logs indicating intimacy with several monks, many of which could be used for blackmail. Yet again, if she's dangerous because she's blackmailing monks, maybe the monks shouldn't do things that can be blackmailed against them. Maybe they shouldn't break their vows, right? I'm just saying, it sounds like we're victim blaming.
What kind of monk?
Oh, she's not a victim. It sounds like I'm not victim. Well, I guess I am victim blaming. I'm victim blaming these monks. These monks decided to have sexual relationships even though they're supposed to be celibate. So that's because they fell for her con, I guess. They are victims. They are victims of her con, which is being too sexy to handle, I guess. I really need to see this woman. Thai monks are largely members of the Theravada sect, which requires them to be celibate and refrain from even touching a woman. Acting Prime Minister Putam Wichayachai ordered authorities to review and consider tightening existing laws related to monks and temples, especially the transparency of their finances. restore faith in Buddhism, government spokesperson Jiraiya Hongsuk said on yesterday, the 15th of July. The Central Investigation Bureau has set up a Facebook page for people to report monks who misbehaved. Daron Kayat said, "We will investigate monks across the country. I believe that ripple effects of this investigation will lead to a lot of changes." So I guess if you want to turn in your misbehaving monks and check out, it's not just okay. To go on a little darker side of this. It's not just women are, being sexy and seducing monks, but there's also monks who are assaulting teen girls and stuff as well, right? They're using just like the Catholic Church, right? They're using their position as some sort of celibate religious head in order to find vulnerable people and then mistreat them. So this problem with monks isn't just, a one-woman blackmail. There's been a lot of terrible monks, actually terrible monks, who have been taking advantage of young, vulnerable people who are only looking for help from the Buddhist monks, and instead they get, impregnated. And they didn't want to be. So I just clicked one of the stories because they linked a couple of stories in here about these scandals monks, and that was one of the stories. Just, and there's also a story of Buddhist monks taking first-class jets. Why is that? You're supposed to be not living the high life. You're not supposed to be living the high life, dude.
Flying
You're living the high life.
In other news, religious hucksters are still religious hucksters.
Yeah, sadly, even the Buddhist monks are not far above being human, I guess. Even though they're supposed to be trying to not be human, they're supposed to reach nirvana. Hello.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Pray on it. Don't sit there and go, "Oh, let me get some."
Does this associate you with anything? We've been doing it a lot.
Absolutely.
This whole story.
In a related story, the Dalai Lama was asked to comment, and he said, "Gunga la gunga gunga gunga," which means, "Hey, can I get me some? Can I get me some too?" Anyway, so yeah, me making fun of religion. Just me making fun of religion. If religion's so great, why does everybody got to keep making money off it?
Yeah.
It either is the truth or it isn't. Why does it got to be a money-making proposition? God needs money? I don't think so. If you think these people are doing good works with that money, look at how they travel, right?
Yep.
They travel in first class. In jets. Some of these televangelists in America have private jets, and they're open about it. And people just donate money because God's going to love me more. Right. Anyway.
All right, let's roll our segue wheel for our next story.
I kind of consider her kind of a hero for our times for exposing this hypocrisy.
I just wish she didn't gamble it all away. Or maybe she didn't gamble it all away, but she was gambling with it anyways.
When you just let you know, when you're listening to this guy talk in front of you, he's not a messenger of God or anything. He's just a person. That's all he is.
With an opinion that he thinks you should respect, and that's about it. My opinion's correct, because I went to Buddhist school for 10 years.
Right. Bill Burr is somebody who was like, he said, I was dating this girl one time. I went to her church, and the church had a pastor, and he was like this 22-year-old kid. He hasn't done nothing in his life. And he's sitting up there telling me how life is. And I'm 42, and I'm going, this kid don't know shit. Anyway, you don't know shit, kid. You ain't been nowhere. You're reading it out of a book. Anyway.
All right, we have a new story. A hypothetical segue here for our next story.
I will not take advice. In my case, I will not take advice from anybody not even close to my age. I'll take advice, but it ain't about, I'm going to guide you through life. Like, you're 20 years younger than me. You ain't done anything. Hey, anyway. You're going to guide me through life. I'm sorry. If you need somebody to guide you through life, I can't. I mean, there's no help. It ain't that hard. You eat 3 meals or 2 meals, take a crap, go to bed. Yeah. It's so complicated. Don't fuck over people. I mean, that's hard. That's not hard to remember. Don't fuck over people. Anyway, spin the wheel. I'll do my stories.
I already did hypothetical. You're ranting too much that you...
Hey!
You forgot what I said.
We're going to talk about smuggling. This is AP News. German customs officials show images of hidden tarantulas after struggling Smuggling.
It's been a while since we've had a animal being where they shouldn't be story. It has been a while since we had one of those.
Yeah, if you don't like spiders and big globs of fat, this ain't your day because they're gonna freak you out. Arachnophobes beware. This doesn't have a person's name with the article, it just says AP. Arachnophobes beware. Customs officials on Monday released photos from a seizure of roughly 1,500 young tarantulas found inside plastic containers that had been hidden in chocolate sponge cake boxes shipped to an airport in Western Germany. Customs officials found the shipment at Cologne Bonn Airport, and a package that arrived from Vietnam. Yeah. The Cologne Bonn. It's a combination. It's between those two cities, I guess.
No, Bonn is just like... I think it's just
wasn't
real.
Bonn the capital of East? No, Bonn was the capital of East Germany once upon a time.
Oh, was it? Okay. I thought we were like B-A-8-N.
No, B-O-N-N. Right. Customs official bound the shipment. Anyway, there was a noticeable smell. It was a shipment from Vietnam that didn't resemble the expected aroma of 7 kilograms of the confectionery treats. It was probably spider poop. Anyway, Cologne Customs Office spokesman Jens Allan said, "You can't just feed spiders nothing but sponge cake, man. They get hungry for something else. They're going to get diarrhea. My colleagues at the airport are regularly surprised by the contents of prohibited package from all over the world, but the fact that they found around 1,500 small plastic containers containing young tarantulas in this package left even the most experienced among them speechless." Yeah, so as for a quote, they were all speechless. Allan hailed an extraordinary seizure, but one that saddens us to see what some people do to animals purely for profit. Many of the eight-legged creatures didn't survive the trip in a suspected violation of German animal welfare rules. Oh yeah, rotten tarantulas. While survivors were given the care of expert handler, the officer said. Reached by phone, Ashland said the estimated value of the shipment was being assessed. Criminal proceedings are underway against the intended recipient of the Saarland region east of the airport, in part for alleged violations of failure to pay proper import duties and make the proper customs declarations, the office said. The tarantulas were discovered about 3 weeks ago, but the customs office only made the images public on Monday. So I guess you can go look at the images if you want. It's like these little tiny spiders, not fully grown, but they're trapped inside these hollow tubes. And you know, that's where they got shipped. And if they didn't survive, they didn't. I'm sure that's a chance the shipper was going to take. Of course, he's not going to get arrested. He's in Vietnam, unless Vietnam arrested him. But Germany is arresting the guy who's receiving it. And other news about smuggling. Oh, wait. We got to do a segue to the next story.
Oh, yes. We have to do our hypothetical. So, if this guy, just didn't smuggle these spiders, they'd still be alive. And I know there's a lot of people out there who maybe aren't the biggest fans of arachnia, but it's another example of why stop smuggling animals. Don't do it.
Obviously, they have some value as a pet, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people
they have no value if they're dead. So this guy didn't even make bank. If he went to the legal means, right, he probably would have actually made the money he wanted to make off his tarantula instead of smuggling them and killing them in cake boxes.
Yeah, it's one of your older professions. Trying to keep something as a pet, right? Let's see what I can keep as a pet. The first was probably a lion, right? Hey, lions can hunt. Let's have one as a pet. And then that lion eats the guy, and it's like, hey, that was a bad idea. And then they just
you would think lions would make a good pet because they're pack animals, just like humans are pack animals and wolves are pack animals. But
yeah, that's true. I was just using that as an example.
I'm just saying it just didn't work.
They
must have tried it and it just didn't work. Lions just aren't compatible.
You ain't lying.
Hey!
You ain't lying. TheGuardian.com has another. TheGuardian.com. You can groan on that one if you want. TheGuardian.com has another smuggling case. This one's from jail. Prisoners escape in cellmate's laundry. It fuels an overcrowding debate in France. Overcrowding? Okay, let's go. Yeah. If I'm in prison, I feel like I'm being overcrowded for sure. Everybody in prison feels like that. A prisoner who escaped from a French jail. Oh, this is from John Henley of The Guardian. A prisoner who escaped from French jail in a laundry bag has been rearrested, authorities have said, amid a continuing debate over prison security and overcrowding. Eliazid A, 20, known as the Joker or the Equalizer, was detained early on Monday morning as he emerged from a cellar in a village about 15 miles from Lyon Corbas, the prison from which he escaped on Friday. Prison officers had not noticed his disappearance until he had been gone for 24 hours. Yeah, that could be a case of overcrowding. You can't keep track of your prisoners for a whole entire day. Hey, where's the cell, whatchamacallit? The guy got discharged and his cellmate's also gone. What the hell?
Yeah, if you don't notice somebody's missing, you definitely have overcrowding issues.
Yeah, they basically, lights out. They're supposed to take a roll call at lights out. Oh, there's somebody laying in a rack. It must be in there. Probably a couple pillows.
That's totally him, guys.
Prison officers. They said he escaped in a large plastic laundry bag filled with clothes, wheeled out of prison on a trolley by one of his cellmates who was released on Friday. The cellmate is still being sought, police said. That guy had a free ticket out, so he just disappeared into the countryside, I'm sure.
Don't get caught. If you do get caught, you don't know who I am. I'm gone. Bye.
That's right. Yeah, at least he's more clever. He's more clever than your guards, tell you that much. The cellmate is still being sought by police. Justice Minister Gerard Darmanin has ordered an investigation into the circumstances of the escape, as have Lyon public prosecutors, the French prison service, and Lyon Carbas jail itself. Sebastian Cowell, the National Prisoner Service Chief, said Eliad A., who was in prison for a range of relatively minor offenses, but also under investigation for alleged criminal association and conspiracy to murder, had not been flagged as a security risk. Caldwell told BFM TV, BFM that stands for Big F in Media, I guess, I don't know, that escape method was extremely rare. The fact that it has succeeded was a consequence of a series of dysfunctions, serious and inadmissible dysfunctions inside the prison, which are now being fully investigated. He said the episode appeared to be the result of human rather than material failing inside the prison, obviously. But added that severe overcrowding obviously makes prisons officers' jobs somewhat more difficult. Oh, I've got a tough job. I can't do my job. Boo-hoo. Leon, stop locking people up for minor shit. How about that?
Yeah.
Hello. Leon
well, you've been locked up for conspiracy of murder, but not actually murdering anybody, right? You just conspiracy of.
Right. Unless they're doing that American thing where they're just going to privatize the prison industry and make it into a big cash cow for a bunch of billionaires, and that just makes us, the United States, the biggest jailers in the world. Yeah, the most
people don't want to make money; they want to be poor.
Yeah, we've got 1/3 the population, 1/4 the population of China, but twice as many people locked up. Think about that. And we call China, we call them despots and totalitarianism. We got more people locked up. We do. And it ain't even close. Lyon Corbas prison was designed in 678 inmates, but holds almost 1,220. Again, they must be just making a profit. That's all I can think of. According to the report made by the Lyon Bar Association, which called for an urgent end to overcrowding, so as to respect fundamental rights and human dignity. Prisons are not about human dignity. France's total prison population of 85,000 is housed in jail. Their total prison population is 85,000. I think that's a prison population of Texas. That might be less. That might be less than the prison population of Texas. Maybe I'll look that up. Is housed in jails meant to accommodate fewer than 63,000, Caldwell said. He said it was possible lovers had not noticed the escape because cells were no longer fully occupied or immediately refilled. Okay. But there's overcrowding. There's overcrowding, but you're not filling cells that are no longer occupied. That makes no sense. So it might be time for another Bastille Day in France. According to 2024 Council of Europe report, France's 186 prisons have the worst overcrowding rate in EU after Cyprus and Romania. Cyprus and Romania, not exactly known for their, enlightenment, let's say. Spectacular escapes are not uncommon, with nearly 20 helicopter breakouts since the 1980s. Woo!
Helicopter breakouts?
That's an I'm all about that. I want to see there's got to be video of one of them, right? What's that helicopter doing landing on the prison? I don't know. You want your tuna sandwich? Anyway, unions say the prison service is understaffed by at least 5,000 officers. In April, 20 people were arrested after a wave of attacks at multiple French jails with automatic weapons fired at the entrance in Toulon prison in the south of the country. Okay, so prison overpopulation, France. Stop locking everybody up. Every time you pass a law, you better build a prison because you're going to be arresting people, and when they don't pay their fine, they're going to go to jail.
There's a reason why Les Miserables is a play that exists, because French people just being locked up for stealing bread and 20 years in prison for stealing some bread.
Yep.
For starting children.
This guy was being held without bail for a series of small crimes and being investigated for possible murder. Huh? Okay. Again, you just lock people up so you can charge them with something. Way to go, France. We'll lock you up until we figure out what we're going to charge you.
What a concept, man. What a concept.
No. Yeah.
All right, well,
Screw
in a
you,
hypothetical
France.
situation where he didn't get caught, he probably went on to become a very successful businessman who helped, have another French Revolution. That's Les Miserables 2.0, escaping prison in a laundry bag.
Right. That's what I said. Bastille Day was Monday. Let's have another one.
That was great.
There are 1,230,000.
Of course, Bastille Day was actually the previous French Revolution. That's right. They've had several. So you've got the French Revolution, which was Bastille Day and killing of Marie Antoinette and stuff like that. But then you also have the French Revolution that they got rid of that guy. They put another guy, got another king, and guess what? The same shit happened again. So, and then finally the French were like, maybe we shouldn't have monarchs. Because French monarchs are trash. Historically trash.
They went to Napoleon's grandnephew after that and called him, hey, you're Napoleon too. Hey, all right.
Actually, I guess a little random segue tangent here. The Netherlands for a long time was basically just a duchy of France, right? So was Belgium, and this whole region really was just a duchy of France, all into the Rhine, because that was the whole thing I believe Louis XIV wanted to do. He wanted to make everything from the Rhine to the Atlantic Ocean France. That was his whole thing. That was his whole military goal. They never really could get past the Rhine. They tried a couple times against Germany, but during Napoleon's time, it was, I think, his nephew who was the kind of governor of the Netherlands, and they liked him. They liked him a lot. When Napoleon got taken down and, France was no longer leading, a lot of people were disappointed. They're like, we like that guy. No, that wasn't it. Was it World War II? No, I can't remember. At some point in history, they liked the French ruler of the Netherlands for some reason. He was a great governor, I guess. And I think he was related to
Netherlands
Napoleon.
And French, they were part of the Allied powers of France or something like that.
They're just called a duchy back then. That's probably where the word Dutch comes from. I think
the biggest mistake Napoleon made was when they executed. Well, I don't think Napoleon made it, but the French Revolution did. They executed all these aristocrats, and a lot of them were the army officers and naval officers. So they had to have new leaders in the.
Wait, nobody knows how to war.
Yeah, so that took a little bit more training. Anyway.
All right, let's roll our segue wheel.
Oh, by the way, Texas prison population. We said France's was 85,000. Texas has 139,631 people locked up in their state. Just one state in America.
But to be fair, Texas is larger than France, I think, or around the same size as France.
And it has twice as many people locked up. So that's your comparison.
I'm just saying, if it was the UK, that would be crazy. The UK had almost the same amount of people locked up as Texas. I would be like, yeah, you have a prison problem.
Texas, of course, solves their prison problem by getting some other billionaires richer by building private prisons. And, of course, private prisons don't have the same
protections,
investigative procedures. Right? They're not going to have union contracts or any of that crap. So they're going to pay less. all that crap. So all it goes into saving money for the billionaires, and they don't care. Locking people up's a business in America. It's disgusting. We are a fascist country, and we have been for a long time. We just pretended we weren't. But
I'm glad. I know. I've been saying it since I had cognitive ability, really, which is really sad for me. How well was my education? And I realized, wait a minute, America's fascist. We're learning about World War II, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Richard Nixon started the war on drugs. Richard Nixon started the war on drugs to lock up black people. There's absolutely no doubt about it. There's evidence. There's recordings to that effect. So yeah, that's why it was started.
For me, it was when we were learning about Hitler. The Hitler's youth and how they were taking, doing the little hand sign, and if you didn't do that, you were a fake Nazi. Then I was like, isn't this exactly what we do to children to force them to do the Pledge of Allegiance? Right? Like at 14 or 12, I was like, wait a minute, isn't this just what we do here in America? We force children to do a Pledge of Allegiance. We don't force it, to be fair. It's societally programmed into it. Because if you don't do it, everyone will look at you weird and say, hey, you can't do... When I stopped doing the Pledge of Allegiance, everyone was always like, you need to stand up and do the pledge. Why? Arrest me.
Yeah.
Like,
liberty and justice for all. Tell me an example.
Show me all you're talking about. The rich people. That's it. Anyways, we're going on too much of a rant tangent here.
Yeah, let's go. We're tangent time.
You need to give me a something sarcastic about our next story, which is about.
Okay.
What are we talking about? Oh, right. Teddy bear made out of fake skin, which has led to an arrest. Lynn Art said she's already read the story, so I'm very excited to see what it's about, if it's already been hitting the social media lines. This is by David Morquand on Your News Culture. A teddy bear made of fake human skin sparked panic in California, leading to residents to fear a serial killer was on the loose. In reality, the teddy bear is a Silence of the Lambs meets the Texas Chainsaw Massacre style artwork. It's just art, guys. I love how the photo for this article is just like a normal teddy bear, but with the police line, do not cross. Normal teddy bear, that's so adorable. Warning, this article contains a photo of a teddy bear that may shock readers, and it's not fluffy. The Californian authorities were not amused by an artwork that was dubbed a macabre teddy bear used in a prank. The teddy bear made of fake human skin was discovered on the 14th, no, not the 14th, the 13th of July in Victorville, 130 kilometers northeast of Los Angeles. Wow, Euronews, 130 kilometers. I hope you guys know where that is, Americans. And the local community was worried that a serial killer was behind the grim find. According to the New York Post, the grotesque toy was placed in a sitting position on a pavement outside a petrol station, and its discovery led a witness to call the police to report a teddy bear made of what looked like human flesh was left in front of the business. A police investigation and even a coroner's examination of the item ensued. Then, on the 14th of July, the sheriff's office ruled the grisly creation was not made of any human body parts. They dubbed the toy a prank. However, 23-year-old man, Corona Villanueva, was accused of planting false evidence. Oh my god. Here's some crimes he's going to go in jail for the 10 years. For false evidence of a non-existent crime and causing an emergency by leaving the bear behind. I'll give the causing an emergency, like, prank thing, but, like, planting false evidence for what crime? There's been no crime.
Yeah, who's arrested? Who's arrested for this crime? That what didn't happen?
Where's this crime that I'm planting false evidence for? Statement from San Bernardino County Sheriff Office did not mention a potential motive and said the investigation into who left the teddy bear at the business is continuing. Here is the teddy bear. Warning, you can't see it. It's a remarkably intricate toy. I don't have an image because on Instagram. What? Go on Instagram. Oh yeah, it kind of looks like a hot dog. Imagine a hot dog, but teddy bear shaped. And there's and you stitch it And there's blood on the stitch. I can show the image, I guess, for people here. How do I get this? There we go. I don't think it's that gruesome, but to other people it is very gruesome. I assume. Yes, we have cookies. I'll allow the cookies. Just leave me alone. I don't want to log in. I want to look at the toy. Okay, here it is. Our gruesome teddy bear toy, which is just, it looks like a hot dog. Teddy bear. Realistically, like that's fake blood. The real blood, when it dries, as a woman I can say this, because I know a lot about blood. When it dries, it does not look yellow. It does not look red. It looks very dark brown, so that would have been more realistic if you put barbecue sauce on it. Then you would have been like, oh yeah, there you go. Anyways, he looks like, if you look on his Instagram post, it looks like he makes a lot of, his page, sorry. Makes a lot of horror stuff, a lot of skin-based horror stuff. So,
blood is rust color.
Yeah.
It's not red.
Yeah, it's not red. Honestly, the spookiest thing about this teddy bear is that the groin's cut out. That's the spookiest thing about it for me.
Who's buying this damn thing anyway?
He's not buying it. It's just an artistic expression, right?
Oh, okay.
It's just artistic expression. He's like, what if there was a teddy bear made by the Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy? And that's what it would look like. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but people have the right to have their own artistic expression, and they shouldn't be arrested for planting false evidence for a crime that did not occur. Anyways,
meanwhile,
latest twist in this investigation: a South Carolina artist named Robert Kelly has taken credit for creating the object. Kelly's work, which specializes in the horror creations for exhibitions and movies, is available for sale on Etsy. He confirmed that he had sold the teddy bear to a buyer in Victorville and identified his artwork.
Right.
So he makes the artwork, somebody bought it, and then somebody used it as a prank and left it at like a gas station. Maybe they just left it at the gas station by accident. I don't know. Our work is pretty easily recognizable, and people were sending the articles about the petrol station. Why did they say petrol station? He would have said gas station in his quote. Left and right. I looked, and sure enough, it was the bear I sent out last week, Kelly told People magazine. In a message later posted on Facebook, the artist explained that he had not been informed of the buyer's intention to do a prank. No, I did not have knowledge of the buyer's intention, nor was I involved in a prank on the other side of the nation from me, he wrote. Regardless, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office did not find the bear funny. They wouldn't. They're police officers in LA. Do they have a sense of humor? No, they don't.
I don't
They
know.
released the LAPD, not known for their sense of humor. They released a statement which read, incidents such as this take up valuable emergency resources and put the public at risk, possibly delaying response time to legitimate calls for service. Well, arrest the woman who called the police too then.
National Guard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's your sarcasm right there. That's the story, so.
Yeah.
There's your sarcastic segue there.
Wait, they're already in Los Angeles. Never mind. They're there for nothing. They're there for nothing. They're there to show Trump is tough. I'm tough. I can call it the troops, which is the very opposite of tough. Anyway, sarcasm.
Somebody turning humans into teddy bears, roaming the LA area. Oh, okay.
I wonder how many of these people unironically wear leather jackets, right, or leather shoes. Yeah.
A crime's been committed against the cow that you're wearing right now.
Well, you're wearing skin now. What the hell's the difference? Maybe somebody died of natural causes. You ever think of that? Anyway.
I donate my skin to the teddy bear guy.
Yeah,
Put that on my tombstone. You may find my teddy bear in North Carolina. On sale. All funds donated to Trans Lives Matter or something. I don't know.
The Hannibal Lecter Fund. The Hannibal Lecter Fund. There.
Imagine that, though. I donate my skin to science. People do that. Our next segue is another hypothetical for me. I'm going to roll again. Just did a hypothetical for me. I'm going to do two.
All right. So, okay. We're going to do National Day. Oh, this day in history first.
No, I have to be sarcastic. As long as we're doing different things.
I sent you a video.
Yes, I have the video. downloaded the video.
Oh my God, here comes along. And, all right, this day in history, in the year 1054, Humbert of Silva Condita, cardinal and papal legate, excommunicated Marco Aurelius, patriarch of Constantinople, who retaliated by excommunicating the cardinal, which led to the schism between the churches of Rome and Constantinople. Constantinople, which is
now
Turkey,
modern day
Istanbul, Turkey, and that was the break of the I guess maybe Eastern Rome from the Western Rome, right?
Yeah, at some point they moved.
17...
Constantine moved the capital to Constantinople. Rome got kind of left in the shadows.
And I really don't care because it's religion, hokum. But hey, it's just what people were doing back then. Oh, your invisible guy stuff is different than our invisible guy stuff. Heretic. Anyway. 1377, Richard II was officially installed as King of England almost a month after the death of his grandfather, Edward III. I believe Richard II was actually invalid. He was actually a bastard of somebody else. But anyway, that's England's problem. That's what you get with the monarchy. 1862,
another guy
Ida B. Wells Barnett.
Their dick in their pants, I guess.
Well, look at it. Yeah, look at it this way. They maybe got somebody who wasn't inbred for a change, right? 1862, hey! Ida B. Wells Barnett, an American journalist who led a crusade against lynching, was born in Holly Springs, Mississippi. Ida B. Wells, American hero. Lynching, of course, was done by cowards. Absolute cowards. The American South, history of cowardice. That's all it's ever been. To this day, the American South dragging this country down into the frickin', the gutter, basically, with their politics and their ignorance. Still to this day, we gotta live with that ignorance from the South. They get electoral college votes for some reason. They should have had them taken away permanently. Like, they should be territories like Puerto Rico or something, right? That's what it should be. I'm serious. That's what it should be. You can be a state, but you're not gonna do this shit. You don't get to be a state. That's what should have happened. But Abraham Lincoln got killed. Who knows what would have happened if Lincoln was in charge? Whole different thing. But again, these secessionists are complete idiots, and they're the ones that killed Lincoln. And they killed England too, for that matter. They killed Lincoln. Speaking of Lincoln, on this day in 1882, First Lady Mary Todd Lincoln died at the age of 63. She really didn't live very long. The wife of Abraham Lincoln, 16th President of the United States. She had a real serious mental problems. 1935, the world's first parking meters were installed in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The device, which sought to ease congestion, was designed by Carl C. McGee. And of course, they had to immediately start hiring people to enforce the parking meters. So, parking meters, there was no need for a parking enforcement writing person, but as soon as you installed the meters, you had to hire somebody to enforce the meters. So did they really make any extra money, or who knows? I don't think they solved the problem. They just another way for people to pay for nothing. Parking a car. There's nothing of any intrinsic value you can exchange for anything in parking a car. It's absurd. It's like paying to go to the bathroom. Another stupid idea thought of by Oklahoma. Way to go, Oklahoma. 1941, American baseball player Joe DiMaggio set a major league record for most consecutive games, 56 with a hit. Actually, he was setting the record every game, because the record I think before that was 40-something. So it ended the very next game at 56, and that's where it stands to this day. Getting a hit every single game is really hard, especially nowadays. 1951, J.D. Salinger's Catcher in the Rye was published, which centered on the sensitive, rebellious adolescent Holden Caulfield. Was published and later became a classic. And J.D. Salinger's only published novel, and he became a recluse. But he did have mysterious women that would live with him, and we'll cover that in a little bit maybe. 1965, the Mont Blanc Tunnel officially opened. linking France and Italy at the time. It was the world's longest vehicular tunnel spanning 7.3 miles or 11.7 kilometers. Joining France and Italy. 1969, Apollo 11 lifted off from NASA's John F. Kennedy Space Center in Florida. 4 days later, 2 of its astronauts, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, became the first humans to set foot on the moon. And China flew a probe over the moon, and you can still see where that stuff they left on the moon is. But of course, the people that don't believe moon landing are going to be going, that's a fake photo. Because you can't convince idiots of anything. And the number one thing you can't convince idiots of is that they are idiots. And they'll never know they're not idiots because they don't possess the mental capacity to understand how stupid they are. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. The very people that need to know they're stupid don't know they're stupid. 1979, Saddam Hussein became the president of Iraq, and his brutal rule, which lasted 24 years, was marked by costly and unsuccessful wars with neighboring countries, as well as atrocity against Iraq people, also marked with an illegal invasion by the United States twice. So the reason we went there the first time was to get the oil from Kuwait, because we were the personal security forces for Kuwait. The second time was to assuage George W. Bush's ego that he could do his deputy. I'm going to take down Saddam Hussein. My daddy couldn't do it. So one of the most tragic things in American history is our involvement with Saddam Hussein and our propping him up because he was fighting Iran at the time. And again, our CIA does a lot of shit that we have to pay for later, and we don't even find out about it. So it's too late. 1999, American publisher and lawyer JFK Jr. disappeared over the Atlantic Ocean. The only son of President JFK and First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy died after his airplane. He was piloting, crashed off Martha's Vineyard. Also killed were his wife and her sister. So this idiot, again, I'm going to call him an idiot because he was an idiot, had a pilot's license but was not qualified to fly at night and didn't know what the hell he was doing and flew his plane directly into the ocean because he thought it was a sky. So yeah, he got disoriented. That's probably what happened. So idiot killed his wife and his wife's sister. And again, Kennedys, just stay away from people. Just stay away from people. Don't be dragging people into your shit. I'm not anti-Kennedy, but it seems like that's a family that's cursed. 2000.
Yeah, that does seem that way.
2001, Jacques Roguet of Belgium was chosen to replace Juan Antonio Samaranch as the president of the International Olympic Committee because they're so corrupt, and I'm sure that's over with, right? Nod, wink, wink. Wink, wink, nudge, 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 wink, wink. 2004, Chicago officially opened its Millennium Park, which featured fountains, eye-catching sculptures, and a large outdoor concept facility designed for architect Frank Gehry. And it was featured in 2008 when President Barack Obama got elected. He made his first appearance at Millennium Park in Chicago. So a roaring crowd going, yay! We finally got something we can be proud of in America. And then that lasted 8 years, and then we got rude awakening that a bunch of racists didn't like it, so they all got together and said, we want somebody that's not qualified. 2017, American filmmaker George A. Romero was known for horror films such as Night of the Living Dead. Died at the age of 77. He made the movie in 1968, and every remake has ripped it off. Every zombie movie in the history of the world has ripped off his movie in 1968.
Something to be proud of, I guess.
Feature event. Yeah, I'm just saying. Zombie movie. If I see a movie, the first zombie appears, you know what I do? Click. I ain't watching this shit. Get out of here with that crap. The zombie stuff is absurd. People die. Their bones and everything
atrophy. It's a metaphor for capitalism.
Right, yeah. It's just like, come on, man. A human body deteriorates so fast that would not regenerate as a human body capable of anything. Plus, you're full of embalming fluid, not blood. Anyway, stupid movies. There's no imagination in movies for stupid people. Nobody comes out of their grave. This day in history, 1945, first atomic bomb exploded near Alamogordo, New Mexico. The United States, we've been there plenty of times, Alamogordo. We've been by the Trinity site is what it's called. It's out near, actually, Curiosities, New Mexico. It's nowhere near Alamogordo. It's like 50 miles from Alamogordo, out in the White Sands missile range. The following month, dropped the atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan, hastening the end of World War II. So they had a theory called a nuclear fission chain reaction. It was a theory until this day, 80 years ago. No, it's no longer a theory. Everybody watching, I'm like, holy shit, what have we just done?
Yep.
And there we go.
And there's a 1% chance it would blow up the atmosphere and kill us all. Just all the oxygen would set on fire.
And if you stay like that. And again, I thank the nuclear age for all that strontium-90 in my body that's going to give me cancer someday. Thank you very much.
Maybe it's made you immune to cancer, the secret cure to cancer.
All right. Ginger Rogers was born on this day. Ginger Rogers, American actress and dancer, known for her films with Fred Astaire. And the saying goes, Ginger Rogers did all the same steps as Fred Astaire, except she did them backwards in high heels.
Hey.
So July 16th in 1911 is her birthday. She died April 25th in 1995 at the age of 83 in Rancho Mirage, California. Out in the desert, basically, which is Southern California is all desert. And our featured birthdays today. 1872, Roald Amundsen, Norwegian explorer, South Pole, North Pole guy. 1872, he was born. 1907, Barbara Stanwyck, American actress. She'd be 118. We mentioned Ginger Rogers. We didn't measure her, but we could. It's Will Ferrell's birthday. Yeah, Ricky Bobby. Will Ferrell, American actor, comedian, and writer. Born in 1967, so Will Ferrell turned 58 today. An American football player, Barry Sanders. Born in 1968, turning 57 today. So Will Ferrell, 58, Barry Sanders, 58. What national day is it today? It is National Corn Fritters Day. Deep fried snack with corn. And whatever else you want to put in there. Little bits of, to me, I would put like little bits of crab or something in it. That's just me. National Hot Dog Day, which who knows what's in a hot dog. And it's National Personal Chef Day. Have your personal chef whip up some hot dogs and corn fritters and give them the rest of the day off. And it's National AI Day. As we said at the beginning, our intelligence may be limited, but it's at least real. So those are your days. Those are your spins of the wheel, your mispronunciations, your J.D. Salinger's birthday on July 16th, 2025. On Before Corn Fritters.
Delicious.
And before hot dogs. Before corn fritters and hot dogs. I got some hot dogs now.
And of course, I'm going to love eating my teddy bear hot dog here today.
Oh, hot dogs made with human skin are the latest.
Delicious. Make sure you have that for your Wacky and Weird Wednesday today. Is there any international UN days? Let's look. I don't think I saw any. Oh, no. Of course, I can't find any. Observances. Don't think there are any today. I think there's only one this week. Two this week. Oh, wait. That's crazy. Friday is Nelson Mandela Day. Anyways, so no international days today. This has been Alison here from the Netherlands. Of course, Roger from the East Coast of the U.S. As we tie up another Wacky and Weird Wednesday, I hope you're bewildered and astounded by the amazing things humans can get up to, and animals. Our virus-solving cat, of course. Well, he's not solving any of the viruses, just catching them. We'll see you tomorrow for our Thursday's 13 episode, in which we are going to... Roger's going to drop a list. I don't know if he has an idea yet.
Oh, yeah.
But we're going to drop a list of 13 things and discuss them and argue about them. Maybe even be surprised at what he comes up with, because, as of course, since we're in different generations, we have different experiences and different, ideas. Really fun. That's kind of the fun of the whole show.
Sometimes I just make lists.
Some of the things we agree with and some of the things we don't agree with.
Some of my lists are totally objective, such as
100%.
ranking the democracies or whatever.
That's just based on factual evidence. So we'll see you tomorrow for that. Make sure you're following or subscribed. Turn those notifications so you know when we go live and post a video. Here is our mic drop moment.
Oh, it's Gail King, famous astronaut.
And the director of the
yeah.
A
He's the one people went to
screenwriter
space.
known for action films.
Yeah, with
Salerno became
Bezos' girlfriend.
fascinated by the Salinger myth.
I'm sorry.
This is
Bezos'
a photo that we
future
uncovered
wife.
of J.D. Salinger in 1968 on his bed in his bedroom.
Doesn't he have a building
This
somewhere?
looked like when we got it
Something? I
originally.
thought
and
there's something named
No,
after him.
he's just a
the
recluse.
lengths at which we would have to
No, there's
go
nothing named after
to
him.
bring things back
I
to
mean, I'm
life
sure there
sometimes.
is, but nothing famous.
He spent
no
$2
famous
million
building. It's just
of
J.D.
his own
Salinger
money
wrote Catcher
to
in the
make
Rye.
the film.
I was
Disappeared.
just hooked. I was compelled, and I began what was a
What is it, the
9-year
famous thing
detective
he
story.
always
But
says?
Salinger was protected by a code
J.D.
of
Salinger?
silence his
No, Catcher in the
friends
Rye.
Never said
refused to
anything.
break.
Coughlin.
Oh, I
want
don't
to
know.
talk about it because he didn't. I
Holden
knew he didn't
Caulfield?
want me to talk about
At
it.
Caulfield.
Gene Miller's story is one of those Salerno uncovered.
And you didn't talk
Nothing
about
I
him
know
for
of.
about 60 years.
I know.
Were
He
you
just
worried
made fun of
about it being
adults and their way they act,
Yes.
which is
I-
normal.
Phonies.
Certainly
They always
when-
said
when he was
phonies.
alive.
Everyone's a
But after
phony.
Salinger
Oh.
died in 2010,
Right, he was
at
making
the
fun of
age
adults and the way
91,
they act.
Miller agreed to
It didn't
talk.
make any sense to him, which is
How did you
argued.
meet? Exactly.
Adults
Just-
are
Sitting
phonies.
At
It's
a pool, and I was reading Wuthering Heights.
Especially he was going to
and
college,
he
right?
said, "How is Heathcliff?"
We were in Daytona.
his secret life.
It
It's like
was
it's not secret life. You
1949
just didn't
at the
share with
Daytona
anybody
Beach
because
Sheraton in
it's none of your
Florida.
fucking
Miller
business,
was
right?
14. Salinger.
Well, he had
was
to be
30.
recluse because people were
did you
stalking
do
him,
together?
right?
Exactly.
We,
It's like,
um,
wow,
we
he had a
walked on the
secret
beach
life. Actually, he had a
every
normal life
afternoon.
because it was none of your fucking
Right,
business what he was doing.
Well, exactly.
For the next 5 years, during the time Salinger wrote and published The Catcher in the Rye, he met frequently with Miller and sent her dozens
Wow.
of letters.
Aw, that's so
so he
sweet.
was-
I'm
he wasn't
happy
even-
for him.
Below the surface of your life.
He was still writing
Jerry
Catcher in the
Salinger
Rye
would
at the
say
time.
to me, a young girl, "Do you believe in God?"
No adult had ever talked to you like that
No
before.
one
He was
adult
much
had ever
older.
talked to me.
That's
Not only
such a
that,
typical
no
thing
adult
for a
had
young
ever
girl to say
listened
too.
me.
Nobody's ever
What do you
talked to
think
me
now
like I'm a
that he was
human
attracted
being.
to?
Isn't that tragic? If we just
Oh,
talked,
yeah.
if we just talked to 12-year-old
Oh,
girls
my
like they're human beings, they
God.
wouldn't get groomed
After
by
5
older
years,
men. I'm just
Gene
saying.
Miller's relationship with J.D.
She's
Salinger
giving away the
ended
Rosetta
day
Stone
after
for
she made love
purrs,
with
right?
him.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got it.
Time.
I just talk to him like they're an adult,
And
then I can
saw
pick up all the
this-
girls I
this
want. Ah.
Glass curtain come down.
Respect. Wow, it's so sad that that's the bar. The bar's so low.
Come
Respect a
down,
woman.
and
They'll talk
I
to you.
just
Who
knew It
knew?
was all over.
She would
That's
see
why
him
I
fleetingly
always talk to
only
my
one
kids
more
like they're
time.
adults. I don't know this
I've
baby
never
talk
felt
shit. I hate-
disrespected
If
by
you
either
ever
of my
lose
parents.
track of me,
I hate adults that talk
Just
and baby talk. It pisses me
read my
off. You're teaching the
story.
kid to talk wrong, moron.
Now it appears
You're gonna get to
the
school and talk
reclusive
wrong,
author has
moron.
made sure we'll be keeping
Fucking
track of
stupid.
him for some time to come.
Shane Salerno's
Well,
documentary asserts
R.I.P.
that the author
Salinger,
left
I
at
guess,
least
and-
5 more books to be published beginning
Well,
as
this
early
is-
as 2015.
Have you read
including
Catcher in
new
the Rye?
material
I did
expanding
the
on
audiobook.
story
Yes,
of
I had
the
to read
Catcher
it
in the
for
Rye's
AP
Holden
Lit.
Caulfield.
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.